Treyarch ended off the Black Ops 1 storyline with a total bang where they literally blew up the Earth. This ending didn't come without fault, because after blowing up the Earth, the question was brought up of what could happen next in the game. Like, where could they really bring the zombie storyline after this extremely ambitious step? For Treyarch, the answer was super obvious. The best play for zombies after blowing up the Earth was to release the worst zombies map we've ever seen. Tranzit. Now, my name is Eclipse, and this is the series where I try and name off every bad feature on a single map, and Tranzit sure doesn't lack when it comes to them. So let's just jump right into this. Now, originally, Tranzit was an amazing idea for a zombies map. It was essentially this open world map that was intended to have different forms of transportation to get you around. It also introduced tons of new innovative features, from the new perk machines even to the introduction of the official buildables in the game. Unfortunately though, Tranzit was way ahead of its time, and the huge innovative features are actually what makes the map so bad. To start us off, the huge map design lacks any form of proper fast travel in order to actually get from one point to the next point in the map. The map did, however, introduce the first ever vehicle, being the bus, but unfortunately it doesn't work as well as it's intended to. The bus only travels on one set direction, since for some reason Treyarch decided not to introduce the ever so popular bus route B. Alongside the limited destinations for the bus, it can also become super dangerous to travel on if you are past round 30. Also, if you do want to take the bus to get around the map, you gotta remember that you have literally no control over where the bus is or when it will travel from one place to the next. Now, of course, the map also brought out an alternative, which is the teleporters. They are a little bit better, but they're still far from perfect. First of all, the teleporters don't even work until the power is turned on, or you waste your turbine in order to turn the power on for them. After you get the power turned on and you are finally available to use them, you'll find that most of the locations they bring you to are lackluster and in the middle of nowhere. Also, it's completely RNG based, so it's very hard to actually get where you need to go. Now, the third and final option to navigate around the map is just as simple as running, but Tranzit is the largest map we've ever seen, and it takes over 7 minutes to get around it. Also, don't even bother running around the map because it's tainted with so many minor inconveniences, like the random lava pools and these weird ass fog monkeys. Another major issue on the map is when you take it down, it is nearly impossible to get back on your feet. Basically, once you go down, you need to run around the map in order to collect your different perks back, but the constant zombies will be respawning in front of you, as well as the annoying ass fog monkeys that will damage you and make you go slower. Oh yeah, and if that doesn't make it hard enough, remember the consistent lava pools all around the map that'll kill you if you don't have Jug. Now, beyond just the incredibly bad map design, the map actually does innovate a ton. At the forefront of these new features is the freshly released buildable system, an absolutely amazing idea that we would proceed to see in different ways over the next decade. Now, the buildable system is pretty much on every map, so it was an amazing feature to introduce. However, the problem here once again lies in how the buildable system is set up on Tranzit. Basically, you don't get an inventory like we'd see on later maps so you can carry multiple parts, but rather you have to pick one part at a time to carry around the map. Also, it's important to remember that Tranzit is the biggest map we've ever seen in zombies, and you have to carry one part at a time to a buildable bench just to get something you want. Alongside this though, most of the buildables you can build are already useless, like the electric trap and the turret, which both need the turbine to operate. One of the only other good buildables outside of the turbine was the shield, but unfortunately you can only hold one buildable at a time, and since the turbine is used to power practically everything on the map, you never really get the proper chance to use it. It's pretty much a game of picking if you want the safety of the shield or if you want a turbine. Now, the last buildable to talk about here is the abomination that Treyarch has decided to call a wonder weapon, the jet gun. Now, with the video talking about how bad Tranzit is, we all expected to see the jet gun come up at some point. Honestly though, I kinda like the jet gun. I don't think it's that bad of a weapon, as it's one of the few wonder weapons that actually deal unlimited damage. My problem with the weapon, on the other hand, is once again the buildable system set up behind it. Basically, you need to run around the map searching for 4 different parts in the most random areas in order to run to town to finally be able to build your wonder weapon. Now, once you finally get all 4 of the parts together in town, after you spend 30 minutes running around the map to build the weapon, you can finally use it, and for the same amount of time that I am fully clothed when I get to see my uncle. That means 12 seconds. Oh yeah, and after these 12 seconds, it literally just breaks, and you have to do the whole process over again. Make sure you have fun with it though. One more major complaint about this weapon: instead of taking your weapon slot, it decides to take your buildable slot, so you have to decide if you want the jet gun or the turbine, which is literally a necessity on the map. Okay, I forgot one more buildable that's on the map that I think is even worse than the jet gun now. Let me just say, what the fuck was Treyarch thinking when they designed the quest to Pack-a-Punch on this map? To this day, it is still the absolute worst design for a Pack-a-Punch machine we have ever seen. You need to start at a bus depot by getting the turbine, where you can then place it in this random ass door that has literally nothing to do with the Pack-a-Punch. Now, you better pray that your turbine doesn't break at this door while you bring yourself back to town and pray that the door actually opened. You have a 50-50 chance, but if the door is open, you can finally start looking for the parts in order to build the Pack-a-Punch. Yes, you have to build the Pack-a-Punch machine on this map. Oh yeah, not to forget, once you finally leave the Pack-a-Punch machine, you have to redo the whole process over again, and remember, you have to run around the map, which takes 7 minutes. Now that you're finally set up in town with a Pack-a-Punch weapon, perks, and even the worst wonder weapon to ever grace Call of Duty, you can finally sit back and enjoy a casual game of zombies. Oh wait, the map has literally no weapons. Like, there's literally nothing good anywhere on this map. The best wall weapon on this map is the AK-74U, but it's in the worst location, being the power station, where you'll never go except the beginning of the game. Aside from that, I love to see that the map tried to innovate by releasing new perks, but I think Treyarch had the FU mindset while designing Tombstone. It's literally useless. Like, if I wanted something that gave me no additional benefits while I play COD, I'd rather just play Call of the Dead and cop myself some sweet Deadshot daiquiri. At least then I could pop some zombies' heads and stuff. Now this brings us into the Avogadro, which honestly I think was a really cool boss idea, but unfortunately I think it's just more inconvenient than anything. He is basically just a reskin version of the astronaut from Moon that only dies to melee, so you just have to knife him like 5 times. Now this guy is a classic example of an amazing idea with a horrible execution. Now watch this video to learn the highest round on every single zombies map released.